Not screen rants. Bad takes.
Okay, this one's gonna take a while to get through because there is so much garbage. But the showrunners just did an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, just justifying all of this crap, and it is crappy. So, the Rings of Power showrunners break silence on Backlash, Sauron, and Season 2. Two first-time showrunners who landed TV's biggest series give
The Hollywood
Reporter a behind-the-scenes tour as they navigate challenges even scarier than Mordor. From patently evil online trolling to massive industry expectations. They've stooped to a brand new low. We are evil. Tolkien fans are now evil people for not liking this show. You can go screw yourselves, JD Bain and Patrick McKay. You are the evil people here. But let's get into it. So they have the war room. They show them a bunch of pictures for season 2. And it looks so stunning. It looks so brave. There was also a line. Oh, yeah. The audience score is not good, guys. And that's excluding all of the the reviews that they've cut out, which they've admitted to, by the way. This is another article. Not the showrunner, but like the one of the head producer, Jennifer Salk, has admitted that they are actively censoring reviews of the Rings of Power because they include points of view that we shouldn't want and shouldn't support. Yeah, it's
lovely.
Yeah. So if you say anything about the show being woke, they will reject your review on Amazon. So this number should be a lot lower, by the way. But this is the Rotten Tomatoes score. But on the Amazon reviews, like it's insane. There's so much stupid stuff in here. And I'm going to miss some of it. I kind of want to just read this verbatim on the channel. It's become a culture war. Some people have, taken up the mantle of this fight. It's been the most cynical point of view is that people calling this a cash grab, because it's the opposite. This is the most earnest. This is the most earnest production. This is not a paycheck job for anybody.
So they're not getting paid.
So then how big is your paycheck, huh?
Bigger than the actors, probably.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money. Okay. It's definitely a paycheck.
Hey, look at their outfits. Like in their previous photos. Bro, in the previous photos,
they are. They're not doing this for the money,
bro,
guys.
in their previous photos, they were just dressed in like basic shirts, like they were a little bit nerdy.
Previous photos of them, they look kind of nerdy, right?
Yeah.
And this is they're in their Gucci boots and in this like probably $10,000 jacket.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they said they kept pitching the third age, and we their approach was Netflix wanted to make it like a Marvel thing with a bunch of spin-offs, and HBO wanted to remake the original trilogy. Yeah. The title of the thing is called Ringleaders. Yeah, it's there because they're running a circus. Yeah, they didn't even realize that looked bad. This is great. Yeah, next month this is going to be the argument. If you don't like the show, because they have nowhere to go after this, right? They've already called everyone racist.
I would have preferred that they done it at least the spin-off or the remake, probably done it better than the Rings of Power.
Yeah. So they said it was our collective passion and fidelity to Tolkien that won the day because they have no experience. I hope I don't skip over it because they talk about how little experience they had. A shiver ran through us when someone asked us if we wanted to do Lord of the Rings. Ooh, okay, here we go. So they moved to Los Angeles and spent years trying their hand at screenwriting without a big win. their previous gig was at Bad Robot, which is J.J. Abrams, and we all know how good he is at rebooting franchises.
That makes sense because of all their mystery boxes they've got going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep reading. Their job was to punch up scripts, okay, to make them more exciting. And then they developed one project that was abandoned. Their Star Trek movie was so bad it got rejected, and they've made some pretty bad Star Trek movies, guys.
The last one was.
We reached a point where we'd been trying for 10 years for movies that didn't get made. It's like, these were so good. Our writing was impeccable. There was absolutely no reason why, but they just weren't getting made. The script was right. Definitely the fault wasn't on us. The title was right. The director was right. And it was a big IP that we'd ruined and people didn't want to do it. And nothing was still happening. Maybe because people were smart.
Common denominator here.
So we thought, maybe we should try our hand at this whole TV thing. And people asked us, what would you want to do? And we thought the Lord of the Rings. We want to destroy that. So we're going to throw everything.
I also find really interesting with that is them talking about how they punched up scripts. So obviously they have not done a whole lot of working on their own thing, which to me, that really speaks to what's going on with this. They are they're everything is just punched up, but from nothing.
Yeah.
They punched up nothing.
They punched up their favorite scenes from the original trilogy and tried to remake it and shoehorn it into their convoluted plot.
Yep.
This next stuff is filler. This article is super long, so I'm trying to breeze through it as best I can. So their pitch was, we want to do basically the opening sequence in Lord of the Rings, the stuff that's being narrated by Galadriel. We want to make that into a TV show and change literally every aspect of it. But we'll go on. We wanted it to be like Braveheart, not like Narnia. Which didn't they claim they didn't want it to be like Game of Thrones, right? Anyone remember that article that we read 2 minutes ago?
Yeah.
So they found it. Okay, we're skipping.
Yeah, they literally said there, against all the resumes, we were the dark horse candidates again
because they had nothing on their resume.
Yeah.
I saw something up there that said something that made it seem like they thought that there was a storyboard, but I don't know. It doesn't look like that's happening on the show.
Yeah, they kept an Aragorn story. That was someone else. Oh, the Russo brothers pitched an Aragorn story, so they're throwing shade at people who've been successful and made good things, right?
That'd be cool, Aragorn. That's a cool character. I would
watch that. If the Russo brothers directed an Aragorn show, I would watch that over this.
Yeah, just writer going around,
Yeah, I just
Strider.
Oh, and this is the telling part. So they kept pitching the show. And no one was saying yes until they called up J.J. Abrams and said, "Hey, go talk to Amazon and make them give this to us." And that moved the needle.
Oh, gosh.
They call in a favor. They probably had some dirt on J.J. Abrams, because for them to get that job without they having any talent and any experience, it's because they probably had some dirt on J.J. Abrams and they use it as leverage to call in a favor so J.J. Abrams, move the needle.
It was complicated. Yeah. Oh, we're blaming some of our missteps on COVID delays. Because in this article they admit, one of the things that one of the weaknesses of our show, the only one we will admit to, because Amazon is kind of mad at us right now, so we have to admit some fault, is that the show didn't have the same urgency that a Tolkien story should. And so they're blaming that on COVID, though. They brought in another Bad Robot veteran to come help them, Lindsay Weber, for season 2. They abandoned all of the sets that they built in New Zealand to go to the UK for some reason. Okay. Where is it? It's just so stupid. There's just so much just dumb stuff in here, but we're just gonna skip to the end where he calls us all evil. And it's the next one. Okay. So for context, they're saying there's been a lot of criticism. This is I'm glad somewhere before this, they say we also didn't want to make this show the Sauron show and have everything be about him, but that's all they've done.
Well,
is try
and also
Sauron mystery box.
If you're making this into the full fleshed out version of what Galadriel was telling us in the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings, that's all about how Sauron was destroying the world, and they fought against Sauron and cut off his hand.
Yep.
What? Oh,
her, her motivation is her brother dying to Sauron. So
yeah, sorry, I skipped. I was in the wrong part entirely.
And the whole premise of the show.
If you haven't noticed, this article is huge, so I'm a little bit scatterbrained because we're doing this live. It would work better as an edited video, okay? But it's so stupid. I wanted to bring it up here. Okay, so someone asked him, "Oh, people are saying that your show is woke and politically correct, and it's not good." And they, of course, bring up like the biggest straw man possible. Like, here's a review saying stuff that I can't read on stream or will get demonetized. And you can see that he looked visibly distressed at the topic. And this is their response. The spirit of Tolkien is about disparate peoples who don't trust one another and look different from one another, different skin tones and stuff, but they find common ground in friendship and accomplishing big things. That's the spirit that we've tried to inculcate into every single comma and period. First off, you should do it in the words, not the commas and the periods, because that's not going to bring any emotion across. Okay, that's just silly. And this is the aspiration that would be the fact that this aspiration would be offensive to people and enrage them is very hard for us to understand. It's hard for you to understand because this is a straw man argument and you're ignoring the very real criticisms that people are having. Okay, but let's go on. Mm-hmm. What are they protecting? What are we protecting? Tolkien's legacy, Tolkien's story, the one that you are insistent on changing because you think that you're better than him. But they'll never. I don't see how people are saying these things. I don't see how they can think that they're fighting for good. There's even a line in this episode where we made Galadriel say something that was out of character. She said that every war is fought from within and from without. And if you're fighting for something that you think is good, and if you do something worse in that fight, then you become evil. I don't see how people who are saying these things think that they're fighting for good. It's patently evil. Yep. This is a whole new low. They've run out of excuses for how garbage this show is. And they already played the race card. So now they're trying to use morality, which is something that they don't have, which is why it sounds so silly coming from their lips. We are evil for wanting to see Tolkien's story, not yours. How does that even remotely track with any modicum of logic?
They are the evil.
Like they are, exactly. Like they're trying to hide behind this mask of morality, but calling us evil, like that is what is evil. These are evil people trying to destroy Tolkien's work.
Yeah.
Not even Tolkien's work is they try to destroy good, good things.
Yeah.
They really want to give us the worst thing possible, so we hate whatever comes out next from that name.
But they already, and they know that it's going to trigger people. They know that it's going to make people upset, and they already have their shields protected. Like, you can't say that because that's racist. You can't say that because that's evil.
Yeah.
They're hiding behind this flimsy woke shield and pretending that they are virtuous.
Yep.
And
Have you
that is
seen-
evil.
Yeah.
Anybody that disagrees with him or doesn't like their interpretation is not it doesn't have different tastes or doesn't have any leg to stand on. They're just evil.
Yeah.
Because what they're saying on the surface, there's a lot of things that they're saying on the surface that I can even get behind and agree that there's room for and need for and all of that.
And this
But
is there's a really good comment. This may be the spirit of the third age, is people bringing together, but that's not the story of the second age. The second age is not about friendship. It's about the hubris of man, which is a theme that is happening continuously. It happens with or I guess that doesn't happen until the third age either with the dwarves. I get it confused because the show thinks that it happens at the second age. But the dwarves, it's all about hubris and greed, digging for mithril.
Yep.
And a bad thing happens. Numenor is about the greed of man. And a bad thing happens. It's about hubris.
Not fear that elves will take their jobs.
Yeah. Well, and that's something that can be seen. And if you want to make some political statements to some degree or another, again, I think it causes problems when you put too much of it in there. But it happens on both sides of political spectrum. So you could still have an interesting story that talks about hubris of people and have it, fit your narrative to some degree or another. But yeah.
In some point, Tolkien is political, but in a neutral sense. He talks about the corruption of men and of any species. And that's about it. He doesn't talk about the current trend.
Yeah, it's silly, and there's a bunch of other stupid crap in this article, but we've wasted too much time on it already.